everybody. Hello to our studio audience, as well as you watching from home. Welcome to Live from the Artisan Studio. We're so happy you're here, and it is my distinct pleasure to get to spend the evening with Scott DL from the Enlightenment Saloon fame. Now, how we're going to do this is we're going to hear some great tunes from him, and we're also going to hear some stories put in the context of place and time and hear about his musical evolution. So, let's get started with the song, Scott DL.
17 is such an awkward age, not sure who you are or how to behave. The dreams I had would not be found in the shops and streets of this small town. A greenhouse grew a friendship among the flowers and the ferns. The song we made while the radio played took us years to learn. 3 years older from across the with a headstrong spirit, this dark-haired girl. Choices she made were rooted in fact. Everything she knew, I lacked. A greenhouse grew a friendship among the flowers and the ferns. The song we made while the radio played took us years to learn. La da da da, da da da, la da da da, la da da da, la da da da. Hopes and the planets are finally aligned. I'm hers as she is mine. Late to the party, no time to lose. Whatever we want, we'll do is re-choose. A greenhouse grew a friendship among the flowers and the ferns. The song we made while the radio played took us years to learn. Took us years to learn.
We are going to talk about your musical trajectory tonight in terms of place and time, okay?
Okay.
So tell us about the song that you just performed. What's the significance of time and place for that?
Okay. This has to do with the choices that you make when you're very young, in my case 17, had a profound effect in my life, more than I could have ever realized when I was a kid. I got a job at a greenhouse in Manchester my senior year, and the person that worked in the greenhouse, she was the grower, is my wife Lynn. She's from Britain, and I've always been a bit of an Anglophile. I mean, I loved the Beatles, I loved Monty Python, I loved all that stuff. So I could just sit and listen to Lynn talk all day. And,
And did.
mostly I talked and she worked, but it was us in the back of the greenhouse most of the time. And so we had a radio playing, and all the hits of the day, we would sing and just spend time together just as friends. And that's where the real bond took place. It took a long time for it to come full circle. It took 39 years, really, to come full circle. So it was a slow boil.
You know, sometimes you can't question timing, right?
Well, that's it. Timing is everything.
It is everything, and sometimes things make sense further down the road.
Exactly. Well, that made sense to me at that time, but it didn't make any sense
To Lynn.
to Lynn.
All right, so I want to talk about another place and time for you. Bruce Swedien. Tell us who he is. I think some of you may recognize him as a very well-known producer, engineer. Give us a little backstory about him, and then set the time and the place for when you got to work with him.
I moved down to Florida in 2009, and we were moving to a place called Ocala. And the only thing I knew about Ocala was I had read that's where Bruce Swedien lives. And Bruce was the engineer for all the Michael Jackson stuff. Actually, Bruce won Grammys for many different things. He recorded everybody from Duke Ellington to Count Basie to Michael Jackson to, I mean, he is like one of the most revered audio engineers. When I moved down there, I thought it would be fabulous if I could someday just like meet Bruce one time. And living down there, my best friend, we were talking about people we had known or famous people we had known. And he said, well, my patient, Scott's a dentist, he said, my patient is Bruce Swedien. And I'm like, oh. So through Scott, he introduced Bruce and I. And,
Is that when you applied to be a dental hygienist?
No. Yeah, that would have been a good plan. Certainly more well paid. But yeah, so I got invited over to Bruce's studio. And he said, play me a song. So I played a song. And he called up a couple days later and said, write a song about Michael Jackson for me. Like, ugh. That's interesting. People from Iowa writing songs about Michael Jackson, who we worked with for 25 years. So wrote the song, took it back to him, played it for him, and Bruce started crying. And so he said, you got to get my wife B. She has to hear this. And so played the song. She started crying. So he said, I don't know, what we're going to do with this song, but we got to record this song. I don't know if he sort of set that out as a test or not. It kind of felt like, well, let's see if you can write these kind of songs. But he did love that one. So Bruce would do these workshops for producers from around the world, and they would come and spend a week with Bruce and in his studio, which was just an incredible studio. So anyway, he would do these little clinics, and he would need to provide examples of different things. He decided he was going to record a guitar vocal and show the people, the engineers, how to get a good sound out of that. And so he had me go out in the studio, and I had written this song called Imperfection, and Bruce really liked it. So he said, go out there and play the song, and we'll record it so that the producers can get an idea of how it sounds. So I was out there, I looked in the control room, and there's like 25 producers. They're all like looking at me. So anyway, I recorded, and Bruce, as soon as I got done, Bruce said, "You got to get in here. You got to listen to this." And I came to the studio in the control room, and Bruce was just, he was like a little kid. He was so excited about this song. He said, "This song, if this isn't a hit, I'm going to eat this microphone cable." It wasn't a hit. But it was an amazing thing because it wasn't supposed to be any big deal. It was just supposed to be this little
Like a
15-minute little
Yeah.
exercise in how to do something. But it was a week-long production seminar, and they spent the whole week working on that song. And I'm thinking, how did this happen? I'm sorry for my jealous inclination. I'm sorry for fears I try hard to hide. In case you start to wonder, is it you? That's just my imperfection showing through. I'm sorry for the times when I doubt you. I'm sorry for words I never should say. In case you start believing that it's you. That's just my imperfection showing through. That's just my imperfection showing through. Yeah, yeah, yeah. I'm thankful for your random acts of kindness. I'm thankful for love that fills every day. In case I fail to mention that it's you. That's just my imperfection showing through. In case I fail to mention I love you. That's just my imperfection showing through. Just my imperfection.
Right? How about that? You know what? I've never heard that song. I can see why Bruce liked it so much.
Yeah, it's a 6/8 time. It's just kind of, yeah, he does like
It's
that.
great. Okay, now we're going to move to another time, another place and time. I want to talk about your UK years.
Okay.
All right, when was that?
2018, I believe it was October 26th, 2018.
Ooh, we know the particulars.
I remember it very well.
And your circumstances.
Well, I got to live in Britain with Lynn.
So tell me about your little brotherhood of musicians there.
The bass player in my band, Mark Nye, he said that I was his favorite American. I was also the only American he's ever met. So it didn't seem like that big a deal once he put it that way. And then my good friend Paul Arthur's on drums, and he's just a complete musician. We had so much fun as a three-piece, just playing gigs and doing some recording.
I was going to ask, because you
During
did a
COVID.
lot of recording, and
Yeah.
you played out as well.
Yeah, but this was right, COVID happened, and in Britain, COVID shut everything down, absolutely everything down. So we recorded in our houses and then had to send tracks to each other. During COVID, you would have to go out, or they asked you to go out at 5 o'clock every day and clap for 5 minutes for the nurses, and so we did. So
That's
everybody
really
came out of
nice.
their house and clapped. And then Lynn said, well, you ought to take your guitar out there and just like play a song after, just to maybe make people feel better. And so I did that. And then the next time, a few more people started showing up in the street. It got to the point where there were like 50 or 60 people in the street just to listen to me play, just because it was a chance to get outside.
Right.
And so they would kind of plan their exercising around, and they'd kind of be doing their stretches, because you could only be outside for an hour a day. Otherwise, you weren't supposed to be outside. You weren't even supposed to meet a friend outside, out in the outside. So people would kind of organize their exercising around when I was going to play. And so they would just slowly stretch and...
Did a couple of them pour their cocktails at 5 to 5?
Actually, that's exactly what happened. Everybody started bringing their cocktails out to their front terraces and just sat down, and it was like being in a club.
A street party.
Yeah, and I was like the rock star of the street.
Why don't you pick out a song to play for us from that era, from the UK era?
Okay, this song is called Learning Curve.
All right.
It was written during COVID, so it's about missing people, and we have all missed a lot of people. So it goes like this. There is no eternal sunshine. Harvest withers on the vine. Beyond the point of no return. Between the lines, the meaning is too deep. A distant echo of your voice. But I'm still waiting for some insight into your life, into mine. Since I became stranded here on your learning curve, on your learning curve, time and tide waiting for your fate. Footprints in the sandy rain. Beyond the point of no return. Between the lines, the asking price is steep. A distant echo of your voice. But I'm still waiting for some insight into your life, into mine. Since I became stranded on your learning curve, on your learning curve. Since I became stranded on your learning curve, on your learning curve, on newfound paradise. Seems to be a became stranded here. Since I became stranded here on your learning curve, on your learning curve. Since I became stranded here on your learning curve, on your learning curve. On your learning curve, on your learning curve. Thank you very much.
This is fabulous. I want to do something a little bit different now with a request. Are you prepared, Scott?
If I know the song, I absolutely.
I know you do. April 9.
Well, that's a good request.
Oh,
Excellent.
that's a good one. Tell us the story behind that.
Okay, so this was, I wrote this about my great-grandfather, who was in the Civil War. He was from the 33rd Infantry in Iowa, out of Oskaloosa, Iowa. They marched from Iowa all the way down to Alabama, but he was in the last official battle of the Civil War, which was down in Fort Blakely, Alabama. And it was on April 9th, hence the name, April 9th, taken from letters of his, taken from accounts of the battle, and hopefully people get a sense of what it was.
Scott DL.
My name is Henry Hield, and I write you from this battlefield. April 9, 1865. It's been a week since Richmond fell. From where I stand, you'd never tell. Cannon fire lighting up the night. I don't know if you'd heard, I'm down here with the 33rd, part of General Benton's 3rd Brigade. Spent 4 months in Alabama, homesick down to the last man. Standing line just waiting to get paid. Fight the urge to run, too proud for that. Load and point your gun and pull the trigger back. April 9, 1865. Sunset came 5:30 when rifle fire pierced the sky. Shot and mortar falling down like rain. We are man 41, an hour less the work was done. The end of a long and bloody campaign. Fight the urge to run, too proud for that. Load and point your gun and pull the trigger back. April 9, 1865. Had we known 6 hours before, Lee signed papers to end the war. 4,000 men would not have died in vain. On this ground marks the final stand, the last card played in the losing hand. Leave it now for history to explain. Fought the urge to run, too proud for that. Throwing down my gun, never looking back. April 9, 1865. April 9, 1865.
So this is your latest CD, Enlightenment Saloon.
Absolutely.
Can you explain to us what Enlightenment Saloon means to you?
Enlightenment Saloon is basically a writing collaboration with my friend Eric Pauls. Eric and I both went to West Delaware High School in Manchester. He was a year older than me in school, and we both had the same English teacher. And we didn't know each other, but our English teacher said, "Hey, Scott, I know you play guitar. This guy Eric writes lyrics, and you guys should get together." And so as 17 and 18-year-olds, we got together and started writing songs. And we ended up moving to Los Angeles together in 1980, 81, and wrote songs out there. And then I went went on a musical path. Eric went to school, became a world history teacher. And so we kind of, we kept in touch, but we didn't write together. And then in 2016, he said, "Are you interested in doing like a little side writing project? Just see if we can still write some songs." I said, "Yeah." And so he teaches this course in Los Angeles called Enlightenment Saloon. And he teaches at high school. And so one of his students turned in her paper, and instead of saying Enlightenment Salon, it was Enlightenment Saloon. And so, well, that sounds kind of fun. It's like intelligent, but there's alcohol. So that's kind of what we started with. And we said, okay, well, let's just kind of, because we didn't want to do like, Scott Delzell and Eric Pauls. We sort of needed a...
So it's like your songwriting moniker.
Exactly.
Okay.
Yes.
And this is how people can find it too, on
Yes,
Spotify.
absolutely. All of the different places that you could purchase it, either digitally or snail mail. It's certainly available.
How about if you play a song from Enlightenment Saloon for us? Tell us which one you're going to play.
This next song is going to be called New Normal. Seems like the whole human race could look down on my backyard from space. Welcome to the new normal. Welcome to the new normal. Sharing selfies in the club, It's become child's play to collect and sequence DNA. Welcome to the new normal. Welcome to the new normal. Sipping cocktails at the bar, in the back of the self-driving car. Feel the momentum start to swing when the cups pick up a series ring. Welcome to the new normal. 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 Welcome to the new normal.
I just want to thank our Rockstar Studio audience for being here. Thank you to Brucemore. Thank you to you, Scott. Fabulous. Thank you to you for watching us at home and spending this place and time with us live in the Artisan Studio.